The Township of Lopatcong regular meeting for July 6, 2022 to order. I would ask everybody to please bow their heads for a moment of silence. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Ledger and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Roll call, please.
Yes, Councilman Del Caro, Councilman McQuaid.
Here.
Councilman Polito.
Here.
Council President Wright.
Here.
Mayor Nucci.
Here. Need a motion to come out of executive session?
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Council is in executive session for approximately 1 hour. The topics of discussion are numbers 1 through 7 as listed on your agenda. The minutes from executive session will be available at such time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. In addition, there is one addition to the agenda. Under the consent agenda, there will be a resolution authorizing the sale of certain lands and properties no longer needed for public purpose by offering it to the adjacent property owners first. And those block and lots are Block 2, Lot 18, Block 5, Lot 2, Block 17, Lot 5, Block 84, Lot 8, and Block 95, Lot 18.01.
All right, thank you. Do you have any public comment on agenda items only? Yes, John?
Yeah, John Betts, Brickley Gardens, Red School Lane. Two questions. What does ordinance number 202207 pertain to? It's about the excavations and openings. I'd like somebody to explain that.
I can explain it, John. We have a very weak road opening permit ordinance right now. This pertains to utility companies coming into our town and excavating on our streets to either repair their facilities or construct new facilities. This particular ordinance will enhance our ordinance and make our standards better so that the repairs are done better to our roads after they're done with the construction.
We've spoken about that before. And then the other one, thanks.
You're welcome.
And the other one is the resolution to improve treatment works application for Bridge Point 78. What that pertains to.
I can explain that for you as well.
Okay.
Bridge Development has a site plan approval for a new warehouse on the east side of Strikers Road. That particular approval was subject to a number of conditions. One condition was to obtain an approval from the state of New Jersey to extend sewer service to that particular property. So they've made proper amendments to their site plan and submitted proper paperwork to the township in order to get the township council's approval to sign that particular application. It doesn't mean that it's approved and they can put a sewer in tomorrow. That the application, if it gets approved by the town council tonight, will then proceed to the town of Phillipsburg, which is the entity that conducts the treatment of the wastewater. And then ultimately, if they approve it, it goes on to the state for review. So there's one step in the process, but they were required to do this based on the conditions of their site plan approval.
Yeah, and with Phillipsburg, that probably deals with the fact that they're having something done with possibly receiving funds to fix their sewage systems.
It doesn't have anything to do with
No,
that.
it wouldn't have
This is just a requirement of our planning board approval process.
The future, I mean, in the future, it could, okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Questions, comments, agenda items only? Seeing and hearing none, we'll move into old business. Number 1 is to approve the minutes of June 2nd, executive and regular sessions, and June 15th, special meeting. Gentlemen, any questions, comments? Hearing and seeing none, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid.
Yes.
Councilman Polito.
Yes.
Council President Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Nucci.
Yes. Number 2 is ordinance number 22-05. It's a bond ordinance. Public hearing to provide an appropriation of $416,000 for various capital improvements and in and by the Township of Lopatcong in the County of Warren, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $391,000 in bonds or notes for financing part of the appropriation. Need a motion to open it up to the public?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Folks, question, comment? Motion to close?
Motion.
Second.
Motion on number 22-05.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Lucia?
Yes. Number 3 is ordinance number 22-06. It's a bond ordinance public hearing to provide an appropriation of $750,000 for various road improvements in and by the Township of Lopatcong, County of Warren, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $574,000 in bonds or notes for financing part of the appropriation. Need a motion to open up to the public?
Motion.
I'll second. Folks, questions, comments? Donna?
Donna Schneider, 26 Meadowview. Can you tell me what roads they pertain to, Paul?
Kim is going to address that. I can
Okay.
supplement what she says.
Yes, Baltimore, which we have state aid for,
Okay,
and that goes,
That's Baltimore from Red School to Strikers.
don't, yeah.
okay, gotcha, yep.
And
Okay.
then we're starting to work on Country Hills.
Yes,
We've got a quadrant there, we want specific.
Yeah, I can jump in. We paved a 2,000-foot portion of Stonehenge Drive this year,
yes,
just east of the school.
Yep.
So from where that ended, we're going to continue that and go all the way to Buckley Hill Drive.
okay,
And then within that stretch of roadway, there's a roadway that intersects that called Jade Lane.
yep,
It's a P-loop street,
Okay.
basically loops back to itself.
Yep.
So that's going to be a street as well. We're going to start getting that particular neighborhood
yeah, it
paved.
needs it, okay,
It
okay,
might be 4 phases, this being phase 1, depending, but.
okay. So all of these streets, so all 3 of those are phase 1, and then there will be additional after that?
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha, okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone else? Motion to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
Motion to move number 22-06.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Lucia?
Yes. Number 4 is ordinance number 2022-07. It's the first reading to repeal and replace Article 3 of Chapter 203 of the Code of the Township of Lopatcong entitled Excavations and Openings and establish a new Article 3. That's what you,
That's what I just spoke about in my recommendation to the governing body tonight, is to introduce that ordinance.
okay. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Lucia?
Yes. Comcast, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, members of the council, my name is Rob Clifton. I'm the Senior Director of Government Affairs for Comcast Cable here in New Jersey. I've got a brief opening statement, and then we can answer any questions you may have.
Sure.
I would like to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to be here tonight. We are back in, I believe, March. We provided you with our application to provide service here in the municipality. We believe that we have the best suite of business and residential products, including video, broadband, internet, voice, home security, and mobile services. With me is Rob Anderson, our Senior Director of Construction, Shay Leahy, Manager of Construction, and Alex Navarro, Manager of Business Development. Comcast is a Pennsylvania-based company founded in 1963 and is headquartered in Philadelphia. We are currently the largest provider in the United States with 22 million video customers and 25 million internet customers in 39 states and the District of Columbia. Here in New Jersey, we have 399 cable franchises in New Jersey municipalities. A little bit about the process. Back in March of this year, we presented our application for initial franchise because we currently do not serve. So upon the close of the public hearing, the town would have 30 days to issue a consent ordinance or a resolution of denial. Now, I had sent over the ordinance to the attorney for review. The time frame on this is flexible as long as both municipalities are, both the municipality and the company are talking. However, we would like to move the process as fast as possible so we can begin work sooner rather than later. The consent ordinance that we are seeking from the municipality is simply a right-of-way. It does not obligate the municipality to do anything than allow us to run our plant along your right-of-way. Most importantly, it is non-exclusive, meaning that any other service provider could come before the governing body and seek to offer service like we are. The municipality, however, must judge our application on its own merits. Under state and federal guidelines, there are 2 areas that the governing body must use when they judge our initial application. The first is, do we, the operator, have the financial, legal, and technical ability to provide the services, facilities, and equipment that we propose to provide? And is the operator's financial proposal reasonable to meet the cable-related needs of the municipality? 2 areas that the governing body cannot use to judge our application. One are rates. They are governed by state and federal purview, and they're outside of your jurisdiction. And the second is programming. Cable operators' channel lineup is protected under the First Amendment, just as newspaper content is. However, most of the questions we get are related to rates and channel lineup, so we'll do our best to answer any of those questions. So basically, the results of our discussion here and in subsequent talks is a municipal consent ordinance. At that point, once we receive that, we would put together a petition for what is called a certificate of approval, or a COA. And that is a document that a cable operator needs in order to service a municipality in New Jersey. The Board of Public Utilities gives the COA after we have negotiated, you've passed your municipal consent ordinance, we've put together a petition and presented to the Board of Public Utilities. At this point, I'll open it up to any questions that you or the public may have.
I'm going to assume you have a lot of the same channels as our current provider, which is Service Electric. It's the only option we have over here. HGTV and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure that's pretty basic with most cable companies. However, once you sports-wise, once you jump into Lopatcong here or Phillipsburg, you could have Phillies, Mets, Yankees, Eagles, Giants, Jets. I know you guys are a Philadelphia-based company, so.
Yeah, I think, do you have, it's the New York ADI? Yes, New York. Yeah, so the FCC, there's 2 what are called ADIs. One is Philadelphia and one is New York. Actually, the municipality falls into New York.
Okay,
So it is a New York program.
well, that's fine for me because I'm a Jets and Mets fan. So.
My sympathies.
That's a legitimate comeback.
I'm a Giants fan, so I'm with you.
And so's my girlfriend, but anyway, okay. Other than that, and all this really does is allow you our right of way.
Yes.
It gives us a choice, and I think we're long overdue for a choice over here. I was kind of envious of my friends in Pennsylvania because, they have RCN and Comcast and Service Electric, and I've got Service Electric. Not that there's anything wrong with them, I just think that it's time for a little competition, so.
We agree.
How long do you think before the town would be equipped?
Probably. Good evening. So we're looking at about 2-year total build time once the actual, the BPU grants us the COI.
And that's including the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi really needs a good kick in that.
Yes, that includes the full suite of services. That's correct.
That's really not that bad. 2 years for a township this size and stuff, I think that's pretty good. Okay. So, gentlemen, anybody else got any questions?
Just have to open it to the public.
Folks, questions, comments? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Robin George, 34 Raleigh Court. Are you going to be running direct buried cables, or are you going to be running them aerial?
We'll be running on both.
Okay, so you
So-
are
so-
going to serve direct buried homes? Because that's a problem that we have right now with fiber to the home, is we don't have it. For those of us that live in the newer developments, we'll never see fiber.
So you will see fiber, we are a mixture of services, but we are going to be doing a lot of underground work.
Okay.
And we will be providing service to underground homes as well.
So this is not an offer to provide service to just those with aerial, you'll provide service to the entire community?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, and you are going to be running fiber?
We're going to be running fiber and coax.
Okay, where does the coax start and where does the fiber start and end? So you're going to be, is my house going to have fiber, or is it going to have fiber to the node and then coax to the
Fiber to
home?
the node, coax to the home.
Okay, okay, and what bandwidths are you offering?
So on our residential platform, we offer a range of of bandwidth speeds. So we range from 50 megs download up to 600 or 6,000.
And what speed are you offering for upload? Because a lot of us all work from home and doing video conferencing, coax doesn't always give us the appropriate upload speed.
Yeah, absolutely. So the bandwidth speed tier ranges anywhere, upload speeds from 10 meg upload up to 6,000.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John?
Yeah, I'm understanding that would be just because I know we have copper cables going into the gardens, into our individual apartments. Would you be able to access apartment complexes?
So we actually work through, and we work with the apartment complex, we have to actually get a right of way, just because if, those are generally privately owned.
Yes.
And then when we get that right of way, we'll actually then be able to enter, so it's really up to that building owner.
It's up to the building.
That's correct.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Lori?
Hi, my name is Lori Chesla, 12 Meadowview Drive. I'm actually one of the Warren County Commissioners, and I know you were in Peaburg last night. The broadband kind of falls under, I've been trying to spearhead this. We have several problems in Warren County. Down here in the south, it's more of an affordability issue, particularly for people in Phillipsburg, and also speed. So I know you were saying, so for your downloads, you're saying anywhere from 50 to 6,000?
Yeah, 6 gigs.
And upload is 10 to 6,000? I know I've looked on your website, would you be able to offer here that $30 for 100?
So if it's on our tariff and we offer it everywhere,
Mhm.
then yes.
Okay.
But as I mentioned in Phillipsburg last night, we have a program called Internet Essentials. So it was originally rolled out 10 years ago.
Okay.
And any student who qualifies for free and reduced lunch
Mhm.
would get our high-speed internet at the slow speed, but
Right.
it's still
Mhm.
fast, for $9.95 a month, as long as they stay in that program. So if they
Okay.
enter in kindergarten and go all the way through to high school, they're going to be able to get that at home. That program a couple of years ago was expanded to folks on TANF, on SNAP,
Okay.
on all sorts of senior programs. So it's been really widely spread for lots of people on different types of public assistance. And we also have a program called IEPP, which is that the schools, for their students who may not want to go through and get Internet Essentials on their own for various reasons, the schools can actually purchase at a reduced rate for their students. And
Oh,
students
okay.
get a code and they bring home their laptop from school and they can get Internet access that way. So there are a variety of programs that we offer.
Oh, okay. And I know right now the federal government is giving that
The ACP
30, yeah, that
program.
$30
Yes.
credit a month. So is there a plan that they could, if they didn't qualify for any of this, but they did qualify for that, they would still be getting
Yeah, I
decent
believe,
speeds?
I think it might be a little more than $30. So
Okay.
they have to pay something.
Okay. What about your business speeds?
Yeah, absolutely. So our business speeds vary a little bit from our residential speeds. So we offer 2 varieties of suites of products. We offer coax versus our dedicated fiber, which
Mhm.
is our enterprise solutions. So on our coax, we offer a variety of speeds ranging from 100 megs, 100 megs download, 10 megs upload, 200 megs download, 20 megs upload, 300 megs download, 35. We're not symmetrical on our coax side, but our enterprise solutions, our metro solutions, we are symmetrical. And that ranges from 1 meg up to 100 gigs.
Oh, okay. Because I can say even here in this building, it's not, we just don't have the speeds. And if we can get better speed in here, we can get more businesses who know that they could actually function.
That would be our goal.
Yeah. And you said it would take about 2 years to lay all the fiber throughout the whole
Yes.
town? Do you have any plans to go any further in Warren? I know you went to Phillipsburg here.
We've already had
Greenwich.
public hearings in
Greenwich.
Cohasset. We will have a public hearing next week in Alpha and in Greenwich.
Okay,
And
and-
there's nothing planned after that.
okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And you're able to reach all the areas of each township?
There may be some rural, and that may be an issue.
But I know that Pohat's pretty big, not that, yeah,
Right.
they're gonna do what they wanna do, but I like our Laws Hollow section and whatnot of the township, Fox Farm Road, those areas there.
Yeah, so the plan is to build all roads to the curb.
Okay.
At that point, Comcast takes up to 300 feet from the curb to the home, and we cover that.
Okay.
Anything over 300 feet may be a little bit of additional cost.
Okay. All right. Brian?
I have a question for you. Right now, if a tree falls down, it becomes the road department's job because they won't come out and cut it off your lines. They're your lines. Okay? Are you planning on handling your trees when they fall? Or are you going to make me responsible that when I cut the tree, it rips your lines out?
So we generally work with everybody on that. I mean, technically, they're not my trees.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying it's on your line and I don't hold responsibility for your lines.
What we do is we work with the township, number one, it varies on every situation and safety concern.
Okay.
You know, I mean, we go through, we may actually ask the municipality for assistance in helping to safely remove the tree.
Right.
What we do is just wherever we can.
Will there be a phone number or branch or something I will be able to have?
So every township actually has our knock number, which is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week number. Matter of fact, you are option 1 on that knock number. So, you know, you can call in and we dispatch a technician within 15 minutes.
Okay, yeah, just, it makes us feel better, we're not, the wires like this stretched and we cut something, it's slamming itself, so.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Ladies, gentlemen, thank you very much
Thank you, Mayor.
for coming in.
Council.
We look forward to the competition.
All right.
So, all right,
Have a great night.
thank you very much. Thank you. All right, number 1 under new business is the resolution to approve the treatment works application for Bridgepoint 78.
I recommend that the governing body approve the application and authorize the mayor to sign the application.
Have a motion on that?
Motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Mendenhall.
Yes. There is a number 2 under new business, which you don't have in front of you. We received a map from Phillipsburg, basically on the truck routes, which would help us further establish some routes through the township that we could put signs on. So you have anything else on that?
No, I think when we discussed it, we just discussed that a lot of them are county roads. So the council is also, in conjunction with this, going to reach out to the county and ask for signage, which would then allow the police to enforce where they're not supposed to be.
So, okay. So we need a motion to accept that truck route, really?
I like the motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid,
Yes.
Councilman Polito,
Yes.
Council President Wright,
Yes.
Mayor Mendenhall.
Yes. Consent agenda 1 through 20, 20 being,
21.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I have one more to make 22.
Okay.
It's a social affairs permit through the ABC for a rental at our pavilion. And they've met all the conditions, so the chief of police met with the person who's going to rent it. And I've also accepted their contract and their insurance and everything today, so
Okay.
I just need you to bless the social affairs.
Okay.
And that'll be by resolution.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Gentlemen, anything you want pulled out? All right. Can I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Make the motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Mendenhall?
Yes. Council reports. Mr. McQuaid?
I don't have anything, Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Polito?
Thank you. Movies at the park got off to a start last night. Special thanks to Kayla for all the help she did. Community Day, we have a rain date scheduled for September 17th.
Okay.
And the townwide yard sale, we're looking to do that on September 24th.
September 24th, and our cleanup at this point is October?
The 8th, and your shred event is also the 24th.
Okay. All right. October the 8th, so we're 2 weeks after the yard sale, correct? All right. Okay. Anything else, Jim?
That's all. Thank you.
Bill?
A couple things. I'd like to request that we revise Chapter 161, for our licensed food trucks, their operating times. Right now, they gotta stop,
6:30, I think.
yeah, 6:30, they have to stop serving ice cream if they ride around the town and stuff like that. And I like to raise that up in the summertime to like 9 PM, from like Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Mhm.
And, get a chance, they can get out to the residents after dinner. 6:30, and not even done eating dinner, can't eat ice cream now. So we can do that,
I'm sure about that.
So I'd like to see us do that, if we could. Also, Chief Garcia and myself have been sitting down trying to come up with plans about these trucks and maybe hiring a special officer that will just be doing our truck enforcement.
I think you're going to speak to that, Chief, in a couple minutes.
I would like to have further conversations.
Yeah, we're gonna sit down, we have
Okay.
one more talk.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else tonight?
just a couple things.
Why don't you just come forward now, as long as they've already.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, so with regard to truck routes, and I think it's a great idea that deserves more conversation. But there's some things that we should probably look into before we take any type of plunge. But I did make contact with the Warren County Engineering Department and spoke to them about signage, specifically for County Route 646 and the way it's worded right now. We're unable to enforce the way it is currently written on the signage. So the county engineer, Joe D'Souza, he said he was going to get in touch with the state and follow back around with me to see where we lied, see if we can get updated signage so that we can enforce the statutes the way they were meant to.
Can you give me a timeline on it?
He did not give me a specific timeline.
Okay.
I was just able to speak to him today, so it was, and I know Greenwich Township had already contacted him too. So,
Yeah.
So it's in the works.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else?
An announcement for National Night Out, Tuesday, August 2nd, and it'll be from 5 PM to 8 PM. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make it this year. However, I hope to see that all of you will be able to make it. It's always a great night out. I know Patrolman Stephen Gabos has been working hard on getting everything put together. I know the community businesses have come together with donations, so it should be another successful event. So,
All right, great.
I think that's my report. Thank you, Mayor.
Tell them whatever they need personally, if I can flip some burgers, cook some hot dogs, whatever we're doing.
We always need some grill help, so, yeah.
I'm sure they'd love to see me swell those.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, Chief. Like we said, with the chief's help, hopefully we can get that done. But with this truck route now, with us adopting that, the county should give us the signage that we need. We'll keep the trucks off all these other streets. It's getting ridiculous. And that's all I have.
Do you want to make a motion on
Oh,
these?
yeah.
I just don't want it to get lost, the ice cream truck,
Okay.
food truck amendment.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
That's an easy one.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Manducci?
Yes. There you are, folks. You can have ice cream now at 9 o'clock at night. All right, anything else? I really don't have a whole lot tonight. I know there are some people here who have some questions. So let's, well, actually, we do need to do something for the DPW. And what you call it? And the court. And the court.
Oh, yeah. So you can just make a motion to authorize the action we discussed in executive session regarding the DPW?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Manducci?
And also the court, correct, with
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Flanagan?
So you want to make a motion to hire both your municipal prosecutor and your municipal court judge?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Manducci?
Yes.
For the record, that's Pat Flanagan for judge and John Kalika for your municipal prosecutor. Mr. Kalika is your current backup. He's moving into full-time.
And Mr. Troxel has stepped down after a number of years with us, so.
And your judge went on to be a Superior Court judge, so he's no longer eligible to be your municipal court judge.
One thing I did want to say tonight, I'm sure she'll be embarrassed, but this is Katrina's last meeting with us. She's been with us for 16 years. I don't believe I've ever met a better professional in my time up here. I was here for a lot of those years, and she'll be missed. You build a history with people. I know some people think it's a good thing to change professionals every so often. I'm not saying that I disagree, but you can't replace history, and she's got a lot of history, and I was able to reach back and say, what about this? And she'll remember a lot of things. So you will be sorely missed by myself and the rest of this council. You battled through a very rough stretch for a few of those years, and you've just been a real trooper. So I personally will miss you. It will be nice, however, that I signed the check for Mr. Lavery, and I'll actually see him now. So you can pass that on to him also.
I will. And, and I want to just say thank you to all of you. In addition, for the beautiful bouquet of flowers that came to my office today. I don't know if all of you know, maybe Beth was behind all of that, but I'm sure it was Bill's idea. They were the most beautiful flowers I have ever received. So heavy, I could barely carry them back to my office. They were gorgeous. So I thank you. Lopatcong Township was the first town I ever represented. I have since represented many, many towns. You all have my cell phone number. If you have questions about the last 16 years and you need me, you cannot find me between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30 because that is the County of Hunterdon's time now. But other than that, you can always find me, and I would be happy to help in any way that I can.
Certainly appreciate it. Congratulations on your new appointment down there. So
Thank you.
well deserved.
And you can thank Mr. Taggart for those flowers.
Yes. Oh, there goes the secret. Anyway. All right. Paul, you got anything else?
Nothing other
What we
than we'll
discussed
be
tonight?
moving quickly to get the work done that's being funded through ordinance 2206. So I'll have a report for you at the next meeting.
And we heard anything on the park planner and the pool?
I did talk to the park planner, and he had some recommendations, and I'll be in touch with you to talk about that. So.
Okay. I'm, just so they know, I personally get a little antsy on that. I think the people are aware of what's going on, and it's getting a little long in the tooth to even get started. So I'd like to put something out there. We were going to go to referendum in November. The rest of the council and myself, after being told, thought that wasn't the best thing to do because it's more than just the pool. So that's where we're at with it. But we have not dropped the ball on that. I'd like to see some more stuff done for our kids. That park was redone in 2006 with the quad fields and the soccer fields, the basketball courts and whatnot. And the older part of the park, which is the field house and the main ball field, I'd like to see that redone. There was a group of gentlemen years and years ago that opened up that park, and here it is 50-some years later, and it's still there. So I'd like to leave the next generation with whatever it is we can do for them. I don't think we've done enough. Our pavilion is antiquated at best. So do we knock it down and put something up more for the times, something maybe in the line of what Flynn's has over there, where we could have some events and generate some revenue out of that as we do our current pavilion. But anyway, that's where it's at. So just so they know, I'm getting a little antsy on it.
Will do.
All right. Chief, you've already given your report, and we have your log here for the month. So thank you very much. Need a motion to approve department reports?
Make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All right.
Payment of bills? I'll make that motion.
Second.
Councilman McQuaid?
Yes.
Councilman Polito?
Yes.
Council President Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Gucci?
Yes. Folks, questions, comments? Hey, look at this. Brian, you're an employee, so you're going to go last. John, you've already been up a couple times. That gentleman right there, if you would, please. Yep, that's you. You're up. Your name and address, please.
Michael Turner, 14 Spring Run Lane, and Luis Cueva, 15 Spring Run Lane. I wrote it down so it's easier to state it out.
Okay.
So my name is Michael Turner. With me is Luis Cueva. We're the property owners of 14 and 15 Spring Run Lane, block 9302, lots 6 and 7. Mr. Quaven and I would just want to take a few minutes of your time to bring up an issue very important to us.
Okay.
Our properties are at the end of cul-de-sac at Spring Run Lane, and our property lines define the Lopatcong and Greenwich Township border, beyond which is an 18-acre cornfield in Greenwich Township owned by John Herrillo, who resides in Texas. Between mine and Mr. Cueva's properties on Lot 7 is an easement owned by Mr. Herrillo that was dedicated for future road expansion of Spring Run Lane. Mr. Herrillo wants to use that dedicated easement to construct a driveway through the Lopatcong Township property to reach his property. He received a driveway zoning variance in August of 2021, but that very specifically stated that the Zoning Board of Adjustment was, quote, mindful of its limited jurisdiction in this matter, unquote, and that they were, quote, not the proper forum to adjudicate the applicant's right to construct a driveway within the dedicated right-of-way area. However, last week, Mr. Herrillo showed up on the property, cut down some bushes on it to display a for sale sign in his field, stated he had a driveway permit. This was now his property. He was taking possession, and he would do with it whatever he wanted. He was very combative. We had to contact the police, who came and subsequently asked him to leave the property. However, Mr. Herrillo has a driveway permit that was issued by the township engineer in March of 2022, but we're not sure how that was granted. The zoning variance stipulated resolution 2C, and I have copies of all these resolutions, that, quote, the applicant shall obtain all other municipal approvals for utilizing the dedicated right-of-way that may be required, unquote. However, that's not happened, as the easement remains as originally dedicated for the future expansion of the road, with the provision that extending the road would result in the cul-de-sac reverting to the Lot 7 property owner. So it would be a land swap. Neither Mr. Herrillo nor his attorney have ever reached out to the property owner to discuss any amendment to the easement or any other resolution. So we're here to ask what approval has been granted to Mr. Herrillo by Lopatcong Township to use the easement for purposes other than the dedicated purpose in the property owner's deed. What's the status of Mr. Herrillo's ability to construct a driveway through the Lot 7 property at this time? And then what are the avenues of relief available to the property owner given this situation? Thank you.
That sounds like a large legal discussion. So,
I've spoken to Mr. Sturbins because there seems to be an issue in terms of the zoning resolution that was used, or zoning ordinance resolution that was used for the permit. And it was a preliminary resolution that was dated June 9th, which is interesting from a couple of reasons. One, there was no discussion of the Herrillo issue in the June zoning meeting. There was a meeting in May that proposed a resolution and it was drafted. In June, they asked to postpone that until July. There was a discussion in July, but no agreement. The agreement came in August. So how something got signed in June 9th is beyond me, saying that it was signed as of that zoning board meeting. But I do have the one dated June 9th, and I do have the one dated in August. The difference being that Resolution 2C, that he needs to obtain municipal approvals for utilizing the dedicated right-of-way, which the zoning board specifically said he needed to get. So how does he have a driveway permit without coming before council?
Well, just maybe putting the mix-up to the side.
Yeah.
Mr. Herrillo's engineer addressed all the comments having to do with the construction plans for the driveway. So he got road opening permits and driveway permits issued as a result of that. However, I think the August 12th resolution requires him to come to this body at the next meeting to get approval to use this unimproved right-of-way before he starts construction of the driveway. That's my opinion after finding out about the August 12th resolution today. Obviously I defer to Katrina. Katrina and I talked about this, and she has the resolutions now, so.
So I've reviewed both resolutions, and basically there was a mix-up with the zoning board, and it's a signed resolution from before. How that happened, we don't know. But, so that's the copy that Paul had. So that's why when he came with his engineering drawings and everything, and Paul said he met all the conditions, and he signed off on it. Since then, he's got the new copy, and there is one more paragraph that says he's got to get this approval. So the next step, so Paul's going to send a letter with your approval. He's going to send a letter out to Mr. Herrillo saying, stop, you cannot put a driveway in until you come before this board and get the approval that is required under this. So he we'll have to stop all work on any driveway construction until he comes here and gets that last approval.
And that meeting would be our opportunity to have our attorney come in and discuss this, our objection to that.
That'd be August
3rd?
August 3rd, I think, is the first Wednesday in August.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ed.
I would just add that if you have an attorney and you have something you want to submit in advance, by all means, submit it to Beth and she'll give it to the council. She'll send it to my office. So if there's anything to be, but I mean, if you have like a, summarize it into something, it's always, no, I don't want to be that formal, but if you want to even write a letter explaining your position, it's always better if they can see it ahead of time and just become familiar with it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name's Edward Harwellick. I live at 1004 Deer Haven Terrace. And I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I'm here to try to get a resolution regarding my property taxes. So there was, several years ago, there was some tax issues. And I was one of the folks that had to bring in the documents to get the reconciliation. So I've been working extensively with the tax clerk, Danielle, and I have not yet received a confirmation. I believe it might be from you, Ms. Campbell. She had mentioned an attorney would send out a letter once, because her system shows me that I'm up to date, but I've yet to receive that letter. Now, it might not be you. I don't know how the process works.
Typically what happens if there is an error that needs to be corrected, it would be, so there, like tonight, there was a whole list on the consent agenda of corrections that were made. So I don't assume any of those are yours, but.
No, I checked. I was hoping they were.
I was hoping that too. So we'll have to check with Danielle and see, what was your block and lot?
It's block 99, lot 220.
Okay. We'll check with her, and if it's something where, so you said it is currently up to date?
Yeah, it's currently up to date. In fact,
So if it's up to date, I don't know that there's any, or is it up to date and you think you've overpaid?
no,
Oh. You're good.
We're good. We're all at zero, but I'm just worried that I still get every quarter these like overdue things, which are not valid.
So what, have you gotten one since your account said?
I've been getting them every quarter, so the last time I at the end of last year, December 13th, 2021, she had told me, wait a quarter, and after that, you should be good.
Are you
Well-
getting them, I'm sorry to interrupt you, are you getting for sewer or tax?
No, this is property tax.
Property tax, okay.
Yeah, so then this just came in June, which is the second quarter already.
Sure, all right,
So-
I'll reach out to her to see, because if your account is current, you won't, like, the computer generates them automatically, so there's gotta
Tax
still
collector
be.
sends them out, so the person you're talking to, Danielle, should be able to help you with that.
Yeah, so I will reach out to her in addition to you've been talking to her, feel free to call her again, but I will send her an email letting her know that there's still a problem and she needs to.
Yeah, thank you. She even told me come to this meeting, so I specifically came to this too. Because her system apparently says I'm good, but there's this mysterious letter
You just want some closure.
That's all I want is just some
I get it.
closure.
Both come from the system, so.
Yeah, they all come from her system, but maybe there's some, but she should call the software company to.
Could I see your notice?
Sure. You could even keep it. I could take a picture and you could keep it if you want. Thank you for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, can I keep this?
Sure, keep it. I'll just take a picture and.
Okay. 4,700.
Yeah, no one wants that delinquent.
No, it's kind of alarming to get that every 3 months. It's all yours.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you again. Robin?
Robin George, 34 Raleigh Court, this time as the Shade Tree Commission. I just wanted to give you guys great news because I wanted to share. I'm very excited. Paul, thank you so much for the information. Today, I officially submitted our request for a grant from the state of New Jersey in the amount of about approximately $46,000 to do a tree inventory. The proposals that we've received to do our budgetary estimate, they are not formal proposals, they were for budgetary estimate purposes. They included the cost to do a complete inventory of all of our street trees. And we have also asked them to do an inventory of the stormwater creek, what do you call it, the spillway? The spillway, okay. So we want to do the spillway within a 15-foot distance of the property line to identify any risk trees there because, Jade Lane in particular, we've gotten a number of calls about the trees in the spillway that are a risk to homes, so we want to identify any risk trees there. The inventory will include both an inventory, a risk assessment, insect and disease infestation, planning recommendations, and a 5-year maintenance plan. So I just wanted to share because I'm really excited and Paul's been very instrumental in getting us some data. So
Appreciate that update. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Harv?
Harvey Wolf, 325 South 3rd Street. Can anyone up there tell me how many more warehouses are proposed for Lopat?
How many more are proposed?
Yes. Nothing in litigation?
Well, there's stuff in litigation, yeah, so we really can't speak to that. So there is stuff in litigation, correct? Yeah.
But you can't really say how many.
No, not at this point.
All right.
No.
Katrina?
Well, I think you could say that there's the 2 that are in litigation. I think there's only 2. I couldn't,
It's only 2 to my knowledge.
yeah. Well, for a while there was 3, though that litigation was 3, but there are 2 on Strikers Road that are in litigation.
Best wishes, and thank you for all your help.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. Wendy Parcell with Melt Ice Cream Bar from Phillipsburg. I am here on behalf of the ice cream truck route.
You look unprepared. I don't.
Okay, so I do appreciate the 9 p.m. In the future, maybe add it to the next meeting if possible. If maybe we would like to extend that into like September and October, maybe do it like a dusk. Will be done by dusk just because it's a safety reason with the children.
Yep.
We won't ever be out once it starts getting dark. And then another exemption that I need is 161-12. G, I need to be able to play the ice cream music in order for the people to know. So because of that exemption, I will not be able to do that. So I am trying to do everything by the book here. So those are only my 2 things.
Can I add that to it?
You can amend that motion.
Make that motion to include music.
Okay.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah. I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor? All right. Anyone else? Donna?
Okay, I have a question about, I was here last month, I asked regarding the planning board, when they said that the town council approves the sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the case? Because we weren't sure last month if that was actually the case.
No, that is the case. We have to approve the sewer, correct?
Yeah, well, depends on what you mean by sewer. So like the TWA.
You mean the capacity and whatnot?
So specifically NFI tapping into buried plastic and taking down a cooling tower. That would all be approved by the council, correct?
The council created a sewer service area in the township by submitting a request to the Department of Environmental Protection and getting approval for a sewer service area. The NFI property is not in the sewer service area. So if they want to service that property, they're going to have to submit a request to the governing body and get approval for that.
Okay, I think
That's
they've
a
submitted
township
before and
function.
have been denied.
Okay, so that has been denied, once prior.
Before they ever
Before
filed
they-
their application, and I think the answer was, there's not even an application, why would we consider this?
Okay, so the treatment works for Bridge, were they in the area?
Yes.
Or are they're in the area? Okay, so that's why that's why that was approved, because of that. Okay, so whether or not, so they're in it, but you still had to approve it tonight?
Yeah, they had to prove that all the paperwork was properly submitted and everything. So the council had very little opportunity to deny it. They submitted everything they were supposed to, so now it goes to the next step to Filford and then to DEP. So it's
Okay.
kind of a formality that all the paperwork is in.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. And another note, the agenda wasn't posted until late today. So I just was wondering if there was a issue, or was there a mishap on that, or it just happened?
Yeah, we're trying to work with that. We're trying to get.
We keep saying that. We need to get it corrected. So,
Yeah, and I'm not trying, I'll just take it a little bit a step further. It's weird that, when I look at the minutes, there's some from 2017 and there's some not from 2017. All of 18 is totally not there. 2019, there's no agendas. 2020, there's a month that has no agenda. It just kind of like, it's just a mishmash of it's there, it's not there.
so it's consistently inconsistent.
Exactly. And, I see people on the talk sites and on the social media saying, oh, well, what happened at the meeting? And, you can't look at last month's meeting to see what's going on to come to this month. So then you get people coming here 6 months from now going, we didn't know that this happened. And it just makes it, to me, it just doesn't seem right that we can't have our minutes posted when you approve them at the meetings.
Our minutes are always going to be a month behind.
Exactly. They're always going to be a month behind, but they're 3 and 4 months behind. So, it's hard, especially with things going on in the township right now, with all of the issues going on between the lawsuits and the whereas and the trucks and everything else going on. And, it just would be much appreciated if they could just go up when they're supposed to go up. I'm not trying to be difficult. Sometimes it's hard to do. It just doesn't flow nice, and it gives people wrong impressions. It just gives people wrong impressions that don't come here, that don't know who you are, that just look at websites. So,
We'll get it squared, I promise you that. It's just.
Okay,
We need
thank
to get
you.
on it. We just need to get on it. Because quite frankly, I'm not being nasty. I'm tired of hearing it.
I know you are.
So-
I know, and I'm trying to, and I'm not trying to come up here and be
No, I
difficult, but
understand.
it kind of needs to be done. And, I know it's.
We talked about a solution today, actually. I sat in Beth's office and we sat there and have a few ideas, but all costs money, lots of money. It's just, people just.
Listen, something you said to me is very sad. They don't come here and they don't know who you are. For me, that's very sad, because I've spent 20 years up here.
Sure.
But I realize it's 2022 and everything's about social media. I am not on social media, because I really don't think that people care where Jim Mangucci's having dinner or where he's going on vacation. And on top of that, it's none of their business. So that's just me. I'm not a social media thing, and I've been shown stuff over the years, totally wrong in some cases. Some of it's right, but there's just, it's amazing how things get started around here. Not just here, it's everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
And I get that, but it is 2022. We do have access to things, so we will get it straightened out.
And the videos as well, it's hard because Beth can't do verbatim minutes all the time. She's got to summarize, and I understand that. But if you can't see the video that goes along with the summaries, you're not getting the full picture of what happened. You're getting a summary, but not the whole thing. So I don't know why we took the videos down, but I really wish the township would consider putting the videos back up. So thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Donna. John?
John Kickerson, 38 James Lane, no T, by the way. Just to expand on the videos just a little bit, I had requested about a month ago videos. Beth was away, and I requested from Kayla some videos
And it took about 2 weeks to get the videos.
Mhm.
I understand she had to wait to find out exactly what to do.
Right.
But when I did get the video, it was the wrong video, took another week to get it, very frustrating. I can assure you, it takes seconds to post a video to a website. It really does. I did it for meetings that I used to run. It really should happen. And I was wondering, just if you can, and I won't try and keep it under 5 minutes here. Can you give me a very, very brief status of the illegal truck stops? Because they're still going in.
You call them illegal truck stops. We don't have any truck stops.
Well, we do.
Well, you say we do. You call them illegal. So let's call them for what they are. I don't know that they're illegal. We have gone after these guys. There were as many as 4 trucks in that lot out at on Howell this weekend. Again, because I do happen to ride around. The other one, because I asked you about this the other day. We're in court with the old Coopers.
Well, yes, there's going to be violation. I think the zoning officer did go out there and he did speak to them.
And our zoning officer's been on vacation now for the last 2 Tuesdays?
Yeah.
But we also lost our judge and
Yeah,
our
court kind of.
prosecutor.
So if there's any bad luck, there's really bad luck, right? With the, things.
But the violations have been issued.
There is.
So
Yes.
they're in the court
Because,
being processed.
The court got closed down a couple of weeks and, so everything fell behind. But everybody's been monitoring the situation. We're continually reporting things to the zoning officer. He's gone out again. He's actually said, we're going to trial now with the Bell and Now, that old building property owner because, his
And to a-
promise
so
isn't
with-
a follow-through.
So to a point, you're right, because we know what they're trying to do. You know what they're trying to
Yeah,
do.
of course.
That's also been a truck repair shop. Now, I know all those trucks aren't there for repair.
No.
Nobody would be fooled that badly.
Especially all the cars that are parked
Right,
there as they're
exactly.
taking their
With
trucks.
New York plates next to them and all that other stuff. I'm well aware of it, so.
And, with all due respect, I mean, it's frustrating as hell for us because it was on December 29th, Councilman Wright, that you said they were issued a warning. December 29th. Now
But
it's
listen,
6
the
months
judge
later.
rules, all right? We're nobody. The judge makes his decision. If you want to call the judge and give him a call, you'll get the same answer he gives me.
Yeah.
They don't want to
And then-
talk to me. I'll be honest with you.
Okay, warehouses on the mall property. We consistently hear that, well, at one of the meetings I came to, we heard no, warehouses can't be built there. But we consistently hear that, the redevelopment plan is being developed. But if you look at the Lopatcong meeting minutes, it's a done deal. They're building, and most of that warehouse, they say, is on the Lopatcong site. So what is it? Because we
I
hear
told you
radio
before,
silence from you guys.
Pohat is going to put with or without us. With or without us, they're putting a warehouse in. We have nothing to say about that.
They own more of that property than we do.
Yeah.
Considerably more.
But, so they're saying that
We own up to steer.
of 800,000 square feet of the new warehouses, approximately half of that will be theirs and half of that will be ours. And when we're talking about the cubes, which is on that pristine farm field behind the mall, 20% is Pohat and 80% is Lopatcong. So, and that leads me to my third question. I'm going to try to get it in as quickly as I can. I took a look at that report that was developed for the redevelopment plans today, because I wanted to look at specifically at that field. Because why are we condemning a field? Why are we saying that field needs to be developed? And basically, it says that it's being developed, it's part of that plan because it doesn't have access to a public road. Their access is the
mall
property. All right. Now that consists of prime farmland of statewide importance, and greenway property. Large portions are in the conservation zone, environmentally constrained. Yet they're talking about building this warehouse on there, the cubes. 80% of it, again, is in Lopatcong. So how does that align with development of the property? Oh, and the other thing that report said, its conclusion provides an opportunity to establish scenic and natural resource protection design elements and infill development practices and standards that would allow development opportunities but protect the water and natural resources of the community against environmental impacts of sprawl development. And I'm just wondering, how do warehouses align with that? And will a warehouse be built there?
We have not had any warehouses proposed there.
So where are the warehouses? How many were?
So far, Pohat.
We have, that our development plan has, what's the status of the development plan?
We're still working
There'll
on
be a
it.
public
In
hearing
light of
until-
what POHAC's doing, we have to take that into consideration, and we're working on the plan.
So
No plan.
is that like being done by a third party, contracted out, or is the
Township has a planner on.
the township planner?
Yes.
Okay, and when will the public know what's in that plan?
The council doesn't have
We
a
don't
plan.
even know.
We don't have the plan yet ourselves, quite honest with you.
You know, it's just as a side note, it's very frustrating when you look at every single minutes from the POHAC council. It talks about how LopatCong has all these plans for warehouses, and we come up here time after time after time, and you guys look at us and say, there's no plans for a warehouse. Somebody is not telling the truth. Now, if you guys tell me it's POHACong, I'll go back to the POHACong council and say, hey, LopatCong's telling me that you're lying.
Where they're coming up with that, I don't know.
Okay.
I know they have something proposed out there.
I've made a statement a couple of times, we either get the parking lot, it's gonna come right to our property line, where they could do it, and it's gonna be a building, or if there's 10%, maybe they'll make it some kind of program, and they'll say, you know, do you wanna give us 10%? I don't know what they're gonna do. I have no idea yet. We haven't even seen our plan yet, so if you're reading on social media, I don't know where.
I'm not reading on, I'm reading it on the POHACong
The mall's been sold.
council.
on where?
I'm reading it on the POHACong
Have you been to
council.
the meeting?
And Coles.
I've been to the
And
meeting,
they-
not every single one, but I'm looking at the
And they said
meeting.
Lopat has claimed that we're putting a warehouse in.
Yeah,
They told you that.
absolutely. Yep. And if you look at the minutes, every single one. LopatCong has approved this section. LopatCong is okay with the concept of warehouse. LopatCong has approved their part of the mall property in need of redevelopment. In their objection to warehouses as stated. Let's see, 800,000 square feet of new warehouses, approximately half of that will be on the POHAT side. The Cubes is a redevelopment project, currently on farm fields, 20% POHAT, 80% LOPAT. Doug Steinhardt has sent him a plan for the property that will also be a warehouse. We're looking at 2 warehouse projects, with the second one mainly situated in LopatCong. I mean, there's a huge disconnect from what you guys tell us and from what we hear.
That report that you were reading, where'd you get that report?
It's all from the POHACong council meeting minutes. It's available right on the website. I can, and video, I can forward this to you if you'd like. I mean, yeah, I will definitely do that. And then maybe you can comment when we come back next month.
I'll seek out Councilman Stillo tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
I work with him. So,
Okay, thank you. I appreciate the extra time.
all right. Anyone else? Judy?
Judy with Task 47 Conduct. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for acknowledging at the last planning board meeting that we do have a truck problem and that you have photographs. I hope they were the photographs that we've been sharing with you of
I
the
have some
trucks.
I have some I could share, but, you know,
So since,
one right in front of my house.
I bet.
My lawn looked very good.
I bet. And, I'm happy that there's a plan in place, and thank you for enforcing and working toward a plan with hopefully the county. I hope our county commissioners are on board in helping us to solve this problem. Since I've been home for my summer break, I've seen more and more trucks on Red School Lane throughout the day, which is very disheartening. So adding another officer like Stewartsville did, I think is a great plan, because God forbid that there's a tragedy of a child being hit on a bicycle by a tractor trailer. That's lost, because when they're lost, they're not totally focused. But along with that plan, we need to stop warehouse development. So I understand that in redevelopment zones, it's up to our council to decide if a warehouse can be built. So I hope this council has now decided, I know you don't have the plan, but you hear our frustration because we're hearing it's a done deal and there's plans in the works for additional warehouses. So you have to understand where we're coming from. So we want to know that our council is not looking to build more warehouses on any of those redevelopment zones. And please understand that allowing a parking lot is allowing a warehouse. If you don't allow the parking lot, then they have to make the warehouse smaller, don't they? So that they can make a parking lot.
Already a parking lot.
But why do we allow that to be then developed by that developer that's building the warehouse? Don't allow it. Do something else with that land, because then the developer has to make a smaller warehouse, and then he probably won't develop the warehouse because it won't be financially feasible for them.
I really wish it was that simple.
Well, I think we could try hard, right? I hope that we do, because it sounds like the way you guys are answering us, that's a done deal. So I don't think it has to be.
What answer are you getting from us that it's a done deal?
Well, because we've heard over and over that it's going to be a parking lot, it's going to be a parking lot. So that,
It is.
it already is a parking lot, but it doesn't have to be a parking lot for that developer to put his trucks on or his or her trucks on for that warehouse. We don't have to do that. I don't think we have.
It's not that easy to say they can't.
So, in seeing this increase of truck traffic and hopefully understanding that we shouldn't continue to develop any of our redevelopment zones with warehouses, we hope that our council is on board with that. A while back, I'd spoken about trucks on Baltimore Street when I first started bringing up trucks driving. And I believe you had a book that you had referenced about what roads in the town could permit trucks. And I had asked a while ago, can we maybe revisit that and look to look at our roads, to maybe ordinances to reroute trucks so they can't be on any of our neighborhood roads, put better signage, maybe.
I'm going to say this, but I don't know how you're going to read into it.
Sure.
I probably shouldn't say it.
Please do.
It's a double-edged sword between the trucks and cultivating businesses trying to come into the township, okay?
Cultivating businesses coming into the
Trying to
township?
come into the township. The high school gets tractor trailers. The brass rail gets tractor trailers.
Sure, for
The liquor
deliveries.
stores get tractor trailers. So
Mhm. My
how
husband
many routes do
is,
you want to shut off?
my husband,
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, seriously, you want to sit somewhere because it seems like you like to sit in places and watch?
no.
I'll give you a
Please, I'm too busy to do
You
that.
can sit on my front lawn.
I'm
I've got
sure.
more trucks going by my house than Red School Lane and Strikers Road.
Are you okay with that?
No, I'm not okay with it.
Okay.
They're not supposed to be there.
Right.
The thing that bothers me is, where are they going? They're not going to Strikers Road, they're not going to Phillips.
They're lost because,
No, they're not lost. You know what they're doing? They're going out 519, because his mother lives.
right, and then they're gonna go out to 80.
That's correct.
You're absolutely right.
That's
And I hope our county commissioners are on top of that map to stop Jandal. God forbid Jandal gets built. Do you know how many trucks coming down 519, 57, and Strikers and getting lost in Red School Lane? So I hope our commissioners are on top of that, because that's gonna be tragic.
That's White Township, that's not the commissioners.
But the commissioners are allowing that truck traffic to come down 519. They can
That's what kind of
rezone
roads
those roads
They can't.
and make them not truck routes.
It's not that easy.
Well, they can fight hard into the state,
And
right?
get sued.
They're
I
the,
know you talk about fighting hard, but there's fighting hard and then wasting tax dollars and getting sued when you already know right out of the gate that you're gonna get sued and lose.
no, I think the county has some deep pockets that they can
And it's
help.
our pockets. It's our pockets.
The county commissioners haven't spoken up on warehouses and helping our
Have
towns.
you been on social media, Jim Kerr?
No, I'm with Jim Mangucci. I don't use social media, but
I'm sure if you go to their meetings, I'm sure they talk about it.
I've heard
Jim
about
Kerr
the
has
meetings.
these letters to the editor in the newspaper. You can go on the newspaper, print,
Mhm.
and he writes letters to the editor.
About stopping the trucks,
Warehouses.
stopping warehouses, and he's helping us to stop warehouses. Actionable items.
What's within his jurisdiction.
Oh, I hope he's helping your town.
519 is posted?
As a truck route. Yes, it is. I know. I saw the map.
So the trucks are supposed to be bending to the left and going down past Harper's Hollow. It's clearly marked.
Right.
I had a
They're
meeting-
not.
I had a meeting, no, they're not. I had a meeting out in Harmony, so as far as the county commissioners go, they posted their areas. Maybe they can do some more. Belvedere Road and even Lincoln Street in Phillipsburg is a county route. So,
That's what I'm saying. Can't we remap some of these areas?
I don't know if it's a question of remapping, but the area down in front of my house was never supposed to be a truck route.
No, I know.
So,
I'm sure it
but
shouldn't be.
we can't fine or summons without posting of signs.
So that's what we're gonna do. So along with those signs, can we put no Jake brakes on like
No.
2250?
No.
You can't?
That
How
is
Do that.
absolutely
how
illegal.
did Stewartsville do that?
It is not a legal
Illegal.
sign.
Oh, they have
Harmony has
illegal
one, Hope
signs?
has one, Franklin has one, Stewartsville has one, Beaver has one, they're all illegal.
So,
You cannot
so that
register
means it's
it.
not enforceable if it's illegal?
Correct.
And the truck drivers know that? So they can do those brakes and make that
Yep,
loud noise all they
Because
want?
that is a safety mechanism, so you can't
Oh.
tell someone they can't use their safety mechanism, even though they're not using it for a legitimate.
Right,
safety
they're not,
purpose. But
obviously.
who are we to say that
Right.
they're not?
So can our county commissioners help fight to get those roads fixed, like that light on Strikers and 519, 57, 519, 22,
Those are
519?
state, those are state, 57.
519 is county though, so
But you
isn't it a
said
joint?
519 and 57. 57 is a state highway, so if it touches the state highway, it's the DOT. I mean, they can
And
work with the DOT.
are we
but-
helping too to work with the DOT? Remember, I called that one time, a couple times actually, and they said, we're not hearing, like, that it's a problem from the towns. But that guy's name, what was on that letter? I forget his name. You knew him.
Yeah, Andrew Sitcom.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
anyone else, questions, comments? Lori?
Lori Tessa, 12 Meadowview Drive. As far as your signs that you need for 646, I'll reach out to our engineer department, make sure you get whatever signs you need. As far as, this isn't a county meeting, so I'm not gonna make it a county meeting. Every single county meeting, Jason talks about what he does with the NJTPA, what we do with the NJDOT. We've got all towns trying to work together. The problem in the county is we have one road. We cannot remove all trucks from that road because we do not have an alternate at this time. So that's part of the problem with that.
You're talking about removing trucks totally?
Totally.
19?
Yes. Yeah, we won't get approval. We couldn't even get approval to get through Hope because the surrounding towns have to agree to it, and the surrounding towns don't want the traffic. So we have multiple inquiries into the NJDOT. You can look at the planning board meeting, the planners
Talking about
report.
what Mayor McDonough proposed up there from 46 to Route 80 on 519, not to allow any trucks?
Yeah,
You tried to pull that off?
it needs approval of the surrounding towns. There is a law on the book that states that if you're gonna route traffic out of one town, the surrounding towns that are gonna get it have to approve it. They do not get the approval.
Okay, start your timer.
Yeah.
Feeling it's too much. She needs to do it.
But yeah, that's all on our website. As far as your website goes, when they did the meetings, and then the county is the same way, inside the event, they put the link to the videos. So so you actually have to go into the event to find the video. If you want to change that, you would have to call them and get a change order. They
That
would
was the
charge
stuff
you.
that, yeah, I'm a novice. with
Yeah.
Computers, but you're right, because I did I looked at our April meeting myself, just to see something that someone said, so,
Yeah, so you have to actually
yes. It was
go
like-
in there. That's the way they set it up, whereas our old website, we just had a
It
table.
was almost the stuff
column.
that I felt could have been eliminated to get to where I got to, but I can figure it out. Trust me, anybody in the room can figure it out.
Yeah, the counties are the same too, and the county has the same website, so there might be people there that might be interested in earning some extra money, I don't know, off county time, which brings me to my next thing. I didn't expect Katrina to be here because she wasn't supposed to be here, but since you're here, I get to say this in person. I think Hunterdon is getting like the gem of Warren County, and but she's been here, 16 years, since I stood there, and she put up with a lot from a lot of people, but she was always patient. I know month after month after month, I would send her stuff in the beginning, be like, can we do this? Can we do this? She'd be like, no, but here's why. And she was never belligerent. She was never like obnoxious. She was always just like, no, you can't do it. This is the law. This is how to do it. I feel like we have all learned a lot from Katrina, and you probably from us. I like to think we were your first town, and your best town, and this is probably your last municipal meeting. So yeah, so I think it's a fitting end. But I just wanted to thank you for everything you've taught me, everything you've done for our town. I'm devastated for our town, but also for our county. I have to say this woman has hundreds of acres under her belt that she helped preserve in this county. She gets through the red tape. Again, we're also going to be at a loss without you, and also thank you for being a great friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Lori. Anyone else? Questions, comments? Ryan?
Told me to go last, so I better do it.
Yeah.
Only had a week this.
That's right.
I have some papers I'd like to give you first.
Save the best for last there.
Is this in regards to the equipment?
It is. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just, so I can, when I talk, you can understand a little bit better. Sure, thank you. Okay. On the back, go to the very back one, that's actual price. Oh, so it's others. Back one is the actual price for the real turns.
You're not doing good with that.
I know, I'm having a problem here. You got 3 minutes.
I've got 256.
Be quick, Brad.
Okay, it's in regards to a new backhoe. What I did is I researched, went under all kind of different co-ops and different things. Sourcewell came out the cheapest. And what I did was I went to Case, I went to New Holland, and I went to John Deere. John Deere, I sat with them, they never responded with a quote, all right, at all. Case and New Holland did. The prices came out without a trade-in for the New Holland was $191,689 and 50 cents. The Case without the trade-in is $185,807.04.
How old's our old one?
97.
Okay, so we're gonna trade that in?
I wasn't going to, Mayor, and I was going to discuss that. The reason why is we're looking at least somewhere in the vicinity of 8 months to 9 months.
Okay.
All right, so we're talking pretty good far out, and that's you could go further.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'd like to do in return is keep it and send it up when that time comes to the county and sell it up at the county.
Okay.
All right, so it'll go somewhere. If we feel at that point, I'll bring it in front of you.
Okay.
If you feel you want to move it there. All right, so that's where we're at. All right, so my thing is I'd like to go with the Case, no trade-in, and 185,807.04. All right, that's with, if you look at it, it gives you a 4-in-1 bucket, which means it opens. It gives us a 12-inch bucket in the back, plus it comes with a 24-inch. It gives us what you would like to see is the new tanks claw, which we have on the Case. All right, so it'll be on the front end loader. All right, and then it gives us a gravel bucket to grab the brush when we go out onto the streets and down in our own yard. All right, fork set, and then it has 60 months, 5 years, and 4,000 hours worth of maintenance where we don't touch it, we don't do anything. And the other thing is it's tracked 24/7. If it gets stolen, it gets done anything, they know where it's at.
Okay.
All right, so that's that one.
You have the money.
We have the money?
I have the money for that.
Joe, you running this most of the time? You're okay with it?
Yeah.
Have you had a demonstration on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we demoed. Okay.
Not to supersede you, but I know he.
No,
he
it's
really runs
okay.
it, so.
It's all good. It's all good. The next one, if you go flip the page over, the zero turns are getting old. We run them nonstop. They've got to be replaced. I ran into problems again today. I can't get parts for the X-Mark anymore. The mom and pop shops are moving on. The only place around that is basically your Kubotas. All right, there's a big place going up. We've got 3-4 places around here. Do not look at the front page. The front page is just to show you what it is. It's a commercial grade. We do not go to diesel. We went with gas because of weight. I have hills. The weight for diesel will take us out of them hills and hurt us. The discharge chute is for, you know what I mean? When we get along the side of a building, we shut it down and not throw grass on the building. All right, so the next sheet is the actual one. It's going to go through the co-op that you just approved tonight. All right, they came out the cheapest. All right, the Hunterdon County Co-op. It's not expensive. It doesn't cost us anything, but they give us a $7,128.78 discount. All right, so the three of them come at $34,805.22.
Did we look at SNL at all?
That's who Kubota is.
Okay.
All right, so this is through Hunterdon County's.
What am I looking at here? there? Zero-turn mowers, I'm looking at PowerCo.
Well, PowerCo is the people that I'm gonna get it from, that's why, through a Sourcewell, contract,
Okay,
all right? You know what I mean, so.
okay, I just for my own 2 cents, I'm not a PowerCo fan. You know, Kubotas are Kubotas. I've always had better luck with SNL.
Well, we can go up there, get parts, and get service. What I did is I looked at it real fast, because I know we want to move on, but I looked at it from a perspective of John Deere doesn't have, we cut a lot of basins with big stones and rocks and boulders and glass and everything in it, all right? Their decks are all, formed and everything. We need the welded decks and the heavier stuff. So they were out of the picture because they have places around, all right?
Right.
So I looked at it from a service. Exmark, I don't know where we're gonna stand with that. We know where that is, all right? I have to now go all the way down into Hunterdon County for another Exmark dealer, and it's a little mom and pop shop. All right, so that's moving on from there.
Okay,
Toro, the same thing. There's none around, so it's really down here, it's gonna be Kubota for us.
just store a tractor.
Well, Store Tractor is all the way down. If I can go PowerCo, which is here, and I can go in SNL, and I can go across the river, putting a nice one up on
That's fine.
191, so.
Yep,
Yes,
money
we
for-
have the money from the leftover for the purchase in 2022, and I have some money in 2019 ordinance, so he's covered.
What it amounts to is the money you gave me, 120, all right, we're looking for
220.
$612.26 approximately, extra, that's all. All right, what she says there's there,
okay.
all right?
Do we need to,
They're in your budget.
so,
Yep,
Yes,
it's already
we're
in
good.
there, in the ordinance, so.
Just looking for approval to go ahead and move forward.
do it to it,
Okay, thank you.
all right? Anyone else, questions, comments? Seeing and hearing none, thanks for coming out, appreciate it. Motion to adjourn? All in favor?
I'll second.
Thanks, folks. Beth? Just one signature?
No problem, everybody else.
Thanks for coming, Kim.
Fall this week.